welcome back to Shawna Rae Cooking and Cleaning for Busy Moms. Today's Foodie Friday video is another what's for dinner. You guys really seem to like these and I really enjoy making them because it's really easy to just actually share with you guys what I'm cooking every week and try out a couple new recipes here and there to share with you guys as well. I am making some awesome stuff this week. First up is a beefy augratin potato in the crock pot, which is really yummy. Then we have a couple quick and easy meals. I'm going to show you how I make my nachos in my cast iron skillet. I'm going to show you how we do tacos here in our house. And at the end of the week, we are ending it with a delicious keto-friendly barbecue ribs recipe, which was bomb. They are probably one of my new favorite recipes that I've made in a very long time. So make sure you keep on watching. If you are not already subscribed, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. I do post new recipe type videos every Friday morning at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. And since becoming a mom, it literally is like I found my purpose. So our first recipe this week is these beefy au gratin potatoes that I am cooking in the crock pot for a fast and easy meal. For this recipe, I'm using some shredded cheese, some ground beef, a pound of it, some paprika, garlic powder, and onion powder, some beef broth, and then I ended up using about 8 medium potatoes, and then salt and pepper to season it as well. We're gonna start off with my husband peeling the potatoes because that is a chore I absolutely hate doing. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the hamburger meat set up to brown that in my cast iron skillet. While that's browning, I'm gonna go ahead and combine my spices. I'm gonna use about a teaspoon of each item. I'm using about a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, and then I'm gonna use a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and then also some paprika. I'm gonna mix those together and set that aside. While the hamburger meat is browning, I'm gonna go ahead and add some garlic powder, some pepper, and some seasoning salt to it. These are 3 of the seasonings that I pretty much always add to my ground beef when I am browning it. While the meat is finishing up browning, I'm also gonna go ahead and thinly slice the potatoes. Okay, so now my hamburger meat is cooked through. My potatoes are cut up into thinly sliced pieces, and I have my seasonings already and my cheese. I'm now going to go ahead and go to my crock pot, and I'm going to just quickly spray some olive oil all over this, and I'm going to rub that in with a paper towel just to make sure my crock pot is coated thoroughly. And then I'm going to start layering my ingredients. So first I'm going to do a layer of potatoes on the bottom of my crock pot. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of the seasoning, about half of it. And then I'm going to add in about half of the ground beef as well. Then I'm going to top all of that with some cheese, and then I'm going to do a second layer. And then last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take about half of a cup of beef broth, and I'm just going to drizzle that over the entire thing. Then I'm going to go ahead and cover it and cook it on high for 4 hours. You want to make sure you don't open the lid because that could mess with the potatoes cooking through. And then once the 4 hours is up, it is done. And this is a yummy, meaty, cheesy, potatoey meal. Perfect to serve with like a salad or your choice of veggies on the side. We love this, and it was just a quick, easy crock-pot meal for a weeknight. Next up, I'm going to be showing you a quick nacho recipe in my cast iron skillet. So first I'm going to start off and I'm going to preheat my oven to 400 degrees. Now I'm going to go ahead and take some olive oil and I'm going to put that in the bottom of my cast iron to help things not stick to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and start layering. Now nachos are totally versatile. You can put whatever you want on them. I'm going to do mine with some chips, and then I'm going to be putting some cheese, some ground beef, and some black olives. And I'm going to be layering those on here. You could totally add beans or tomatoes and different types of veggies if you wanted as well. Black olives are my favorite on nachos, and they were so good. And I just had some leftover taco meat, and that's what I'm using as my meat on this. If you had sausage or something else, you could totally use that as well. Once those are all layered, I'm gonna go ahead and cover it with foil, and then I'm gonna cook it in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes, just until all the cheese is melted and it is heated through. While it's cooking, I'm gonna be making my version of guacamole. So I don't like a whole lot of like onion or tomato chunks in my guacamole. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take an avocado and I'm gonna mash that up in a bowl. And then I'm gonna add my favorite seasonings to it. So I like to add garlic powder, seasoning salt, and chili powder. Occasionally I'll add like paprika or cumin or something like that as well. If we have salsa, I'll add some salsa in there. It just depends, but I like to make my own guacamole that doesn't have large chunks in it. It's just a lot easier for me to eat, and I really enjoy it. And then once the cheese is all melted and they're heated up, you are ready to serve. This is a so quick, easy, yummy weeknight meal. I love to serve it with sour cream and the guacamole on the side. Is it good? You like the dip? Yeah. So for tonight we're doing tacos, and first thing I'm going to do is get this rice started. We love this yellow rice. It tastes really good, and I'm just going to cook it according to the instructions, the stovetop ones. So I'm going to get 1 1/3 cups of water boiling, and I'm actually going to add butter to it instead of olive oil. They changed their directions recently. It used to say butter, and this needs to cook for 20 minutes. So I need to go ahead and get that started in the pan, and then I will get the hamburger meat cooking. Get that started. And then I'm also gonna get started on some meat, and I'm just gonna be using, not gonna be using chili mix. Let's find the taco one. Taco. I'm just gonna be using the H-E-B brand taco seasoning for that. And so the first thing I'm going to do, of course, is just cook my ground beef. As I always do with my ground beef, I am going to add seasoning salt and garlic powder and some pepper to it while it's cooking. I just like to have the extra flavor added while it's cooking. Of course, I will later also be adding the taco seasoning to it as well. We're just going to get started with the taco meat first. And I had to break down and buy one of these hamburger meat chopper thingies. I saw Yesenia from Yesenia Mom's Life using these, and I had to get one. So now the rice water is boiling. I'm gonna stir in the rice, and then I'm gonna cover it, and it needs to cook for 20 minutes. Okay, so my meat is brown. I did go ahead and drain the fat out, and now I'm gonna go ahead and use my taco seasoning per the instructions. So it just says to add the taco seasoning in 3/4 cup of water, bring to a boil, and then reduce heat and simmer for 5 minutes. So that's what I'm gonna do. So the taco meat is done. I turned it off, but I'm just gonna let it sit here and simmer because I still have about 10 minutes left on the rice. And I also just preheated my oven so that I could start cooking my taco shells. And I'm sorry if you can hear a baby crying in the background, but it's done. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off and take it away from the heat. The meat is done. We just need to do our taco shells, and then dinner will be ready to serve. yummy taco?
Yeah.
So he already started eating, but there's his taco. He also ate one of these pear, kale, and spinach ones. And it has a cup of kale and a third of a cup of spinach. So quite a lot of veggies in here. Normally I would put lettuce on our tacos, but I had a screaming baby and so I didn't have a chance. My tacos have rice in them and meat, and then I'll put cheese, sour cream, and some black olives on them as well. Is it yummy? It's okay. Some of it's gonna fall out. That's okay. You gonna take a bite? Yeah, it's starting to fall. Here, take a big bite. Mommy will help you. Just take a bite. Oh, there's cheese in there. You like cheese? Here, let Mommy help you take a bite. Nope, you're gonna pick it apart. All right. That's dinner tonight, you guys. I ended up smashing Charlie's up and making it more a taco salad because as soon as his shell broke, he wasn't interested in trying to bite out of it anymore. He was just picking out the meat and cheese with his fingers. So I just mashed it all up and mixed it up and made it a taco salad for him. Is it good? Good. So the last meal of the week are these amazing keto style barbecue ribs. They were so good and so amazing. So the first thing I'm doing is mixing together all the ingredients for the dry rub. I'm using about a tablespoon of each of these seasonings. So I'm doing salt, pepper, chili powder, oregano, paprika, cumin, and cayenne pepper. If I make this again in the future, I will probably use a little bit more of those seasonings, especially of the chili powder, the paprika, the cumin, oregano, just to make a little bit more because I did kind of run out towards the end. But I'm just mixing those together. As you can see, I have a little helper here helping me mix, and then I'm going to be using that as a dry rub. While we were working on this dry rub, I also went ahead and preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And then I took my ribs and I am going to go ahead and take this dry rub and just pat it and rub it in all over both sides of my sheet of ribs. This is just one large thing of ribs. I'm not sure it's the ones we bought at the grocery store, but I'm just going to take that and my son and I are going to just rub that in and make sure it's well coated all over the ribs. Now, once my ribs were coated in the dry rub, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it in foil. I want to make sure and get it completely wrapped in foil. And then I'm going to go ahead and cook it in the oven for about 3 to 4 hours. Originally, I did this at about 2 hours and just wasn't done enough. It ended up 3 to 4 hours ended up being the sweet spot. Now, once I had baked the ribs in the oven, I did go ahead and put this in the refrigerator overnight. You do want the ribs to completely cool in the refrigerator. So I just kept it wrapped in the foil and stuck it in the fridge. And then I'm going to leave those overnight. And in the morning, we're gonna go ahead and throw them on the grill to just give them that like crispy grilled taste and texture to them. So the next day, my husband went ahead and took these and threw them on the grill. We did about 7 or so minutes on each side for them. And so my husband is keto, so on most of it, we didn't put any barbecue sauce. We just left the dry rub. But on a little portion of it that I was going to be eating and that my son would be eating, I did go ahead and put some barbecue sauce on that. So he did rub that on while we were grilling these on both sides of the ribs. And these are so good, you guys. My husband, who is doing keto, absolutely loved these. We can't wait to make these again because they were the bomb. I love ribs. I love barbecue food in general, but these were really, really good and really pretty easy. I threw them in the oven the night before, and then they were ready to eat the next day, and we absolutely loved them. Is that good?
These are good.
You like that dip better? Good. I hope you guys enjoyed those recipes. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. It is a really quick and easy way you can help me out. If you are not already subscribed, make sure you hit that red subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on your bell notifications so you get notified every time I upload. I do upload at least twice a week, but a lot of times I will throw in a bonus video on a random day. So make sure you have your bell notification on so you know when I'm uploading. If you really like these type of videos, let me know in the comments down below. Leave a comment and letting me know what kind of videos you like. Always help me out to know what content to make for you in the future. And if you have friends who enjoy good recipe videos, send them my way. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.